everyone, and welcome back to Bighorn Woodworks. My name is Paul, and today we're going to be working on a project that includes some sliding door hardware. I've got these wagon top mount. They're made by Colonial Elegance, not sponsored by them. They just happen to be the brand that was at my local big box. And they mount at the top of the door. I did the doors a little while ago. I just bought them, didn't make them. I just bought them and put some finish on them. So the wagon wheels, they require about 7 inches of space up above, and I got about that much room up at the top of my door. The problem is that the hardware that's used for these, here, the hardware has little holes pre-drilled. These are steel. Okay, those are steel. Pre-drilled holes, and those holes are every 16 inches. So there's another one. Let's see, there's another one. So those holes at 16 inches are intended to go into a stud. The problem is that where I want to put these, where they have to mount, they're not going to line up with the studs. So in order for me to be able to use this hardware, I actually am making a ledger board. And that ledger board will get screwed into the wall, and I can mount that to the studs. And then the hardware for the bracket, and then of course then the trolleys and the doors, will hang on that ledger board. So staining those and putting some finish on those, and then we'll go ahead and actually start getting the doors hung. So let's get started. By the way, if anybody's wondering, my little attachment here, this is just a like a hose couple with a couple of hose clamps on it, and that I've just got the right size to match the port that's on my sander to the hose that comes off of the vacuum. This is obviously the smaller of the vacuum attachments, so I just turn my vacuum on, turn the sander on, and I've got vacuum attachment for a sander that was never meant to have a vacuum attachment. All right, so while I'm waiting for the finish to dry on those, why don't I go ahead and, you know, I haven't really filmed much of this project. I've had so much to do. We've been trying to get this house remodeled. I know everybody tells me, well, Paul, that's the perfect thing to film and put on YouTube, but you know what? My channel was never really supposed to be about remodeling. I really wanted it to be on woodworking, doing things like wood turning, and it just seems like the last probably year has been nothing but remodeling with no chance to do any kind of woodworking projects. And so why don't I just show you what I've been up to. So I'll try and see if I can find some old footage of when we first started, because I know I did film it when I was doing the tear out of the basement. So I'll look for that. You'll see that here in a minute. Whole remodel of the whole basement. The basement was originally this room here, and this room actually connected to this. This was not here. This wall was not here. This was just one kind of L-shaped room. Had the tile in the ceiling all over the place. This room has a little fireplace right there. Had a closet. This closet was already here. And then if you look like down here towards the bottom, there's a little half wall. There was wood trim that was all the way around here. I actually used that on the herringbone wall project that is upstairs. It's a previous video I'll link up here. So anyway, if you look here, you can actually see kind of the outline of where the floor was. So there was a room right here as well. And now we're one big giant room. If I go back all the way over here, so you can kind of see all the way back into that other room. This is now completely all the way open. I've kind of separated a little spot off here for my office, so where I do my work back here. Got a little picture of the Apostle Island. And then there's a bedroom back over here. That used to be down a hallway to get to that bedroom, and now it's basically just you come in from the foyer and down, and that bedroom is back there, and that's a laundry room with a bathroom back there. So that's what I've been up to. I've been doing this. This is one of the mounting plates for the sliding doors, and then the other set of sliding doors will go here and cover this space to get into the laundry room. So that's where I'm at with basically the remodel. I mean, it's been a lot of work. I've got mud on the ceiling over here. I've got paint on the ceiling over here because we're doing this in two different halves. This half is pretty close to done. There are only a couple of things that I need to do over here. One of them is there's this like half wall ledge that had this piece of wood. There used to be a closet right here, so that's why this only goes to this far. But I need to replace this little board here to cover up this stuff. I just got this little board there to kind of help me pretend like there's not spiders living down in there. And anyway, so that's going to be replaced, and actually that is what I'm working on in addition to all the other trim. So that's this here. So this is part of that trim that was on the bottom half of the wall. This is actually the wood that was there. And this piece needs to be 153.5 inches long. So that's perfect, that's long enough. And then I've got a couple of pieces of ply that I'll actually use to be the face. I don't have a long enough one of those, so it's actually two different pieces that I'll just join together in the middle. So anyway, so that is a really fast update on where we've been at, what we've been doing. There are many other projects that are going on. We've got lots of stuff that's been happening outside, replacing pool liner, redoing the deck. I mean, the list just goes on. And in addition to that, just trying to take and work on giving myself just a little bit of a shop space. My lathe over there, in the event that we don't move and we end up staying in this house. So the whole idea behind this was that we would do all this work and be able to really up the value on this house so that we could really step up the house that we want to move into. A little sad news, we did have a house that we really liked. We really loved. We put an offer in on it. And then the offer was not accepted. It was beaten by somebody else. Kind of wish they would have given us the opportunity to counter, but such is life. So anyway, gosh, you know, I actually think I'm going to stop and I'm going to do this video. I'm going to publish this out there. It's basically just a big update on what's been going on and where things are at. And hopefully, you know, now that we're getting close to the end of this renovation, that I'll have the opportunity to actually do some more videos and actually spend time actually devoted to the YouTube channel, because I have fun doing this. I mean, you know, I don't know if anybody likes it. I know I made the mistake a couple times reading some of my YouTube comments. Oops. You know what? I'm not a professional. I just try and do things for fun, and that's all this was about. Just having fun, and yeah, so let's end it there. We'll make a video out of this.